Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about how Buccaneers wide receiver Antonio Brown has been ruled out versus the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game. Antonio Brown will not be playing for the Buccaneers in the NFC Championship game as he is dealing with a knee injury. This is huge news on the opposite end of the spectrum. I literally just made the Vita Vea video not just a few minutes ago, and now we get the bad news. I mentioned it in the Vita Vea video. Obviously, the news is already here. Antonio Brown will not be playing in the NFC Championship game. He hurt his knee, I believe, towards the end of the first half in that Saints game. We did not see him for the entirety of the second half. And now he is out, unfortunately. I know there's going to be a lot of people that are upset about this news, but let's talk about what the Buccaneers can do to kind of soften the blow of losing Antonio Brown to injury for this game. So first things first, this does suck because Antonio Brown was playing some pretty darn good football here to end out the regular season, and he was playing some pretty decent football in the playoffs as well. The Buccaneers are missing a huge weapon who actually has a lot of good chemistry with Tom Brady. So that sucks. I've mentioned it before. When Antonio Brown is on and 100% and, all there, he is a top 3 wide receiver in this league, and now the Buccaneers are going to be without him. This is unfortunate, but the flip side, I guess kind of silver lining is that the Buccaneers have the depth. They have guys who can help fill in that role that Antonio Brown is now leaving in the NFC Championship game. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, those guys could potentially get some more looks. I know Mike Evans has an incredibly tough matchup with Jair Alexander. Chris Godwin doesn't have the easiest matchup either. I believe it's against Kevin King, but this Packers secondary is no joke. But I would at least expect both those guys, probably more so Chris Godwin than Mike Evans, to be getting some work, getting some more targets thrown their way. Chris Godwin definitely is looking for some redemption in a lot of fans' eyes, and probably in his own eyes as well, as he has struggled a little bit during these playoffs, and I think this would be the perfect game for him to get right back on track and show, the dominant Chris Godwin that we're all used to seeing. He's only had, he had half of a bad game with some drops, and then he didn't do much in the Saints game, so it hasn't really been that bad, but this is a perfect opportunity for him to just have a really strong game here in this NFC Championship game. After those two guys, you look at some of the tight ends. Cameron Brate, who's been getting some more targets. Rob Gronkowski, who's been getting some more targets. This probably means that those guys will get some more work, absolutely. Cam Brate's had a pretty solid playoff run so far. He has been involved in both games, and he's had a very good showing. Rob Gronkowski, he's missed some opportunities on some deep balls and things like that. This could be a game where he gets some more passes thrown his way, especially in the red zone. And then the running backs as well, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, probably more so Leonard Fournette, maybe get a couple more targets thrown his way, and then Scotty Miller and Tyler Johnson, I both expect to, obviously to get elevated up into the depth chart, maybe Jadon Mickens as well, we'd have to wait and see, but Scotty Miller, he had an incredible move during the Saints game where Tom Brady just threw an absolute dime in the middle of a couple of defenders, and Scotty Miller made an incredible catch. That was his only catch in that game, but man, it was an impressive catch. And then Tyler Johnson did a very similar thing where he had a spinning sideline grab during that same drive, I believe, in that Saints game as well, which both those guys only had one catch each, but man, they made both those catches count with just incredibly clutch and acrobatic and just great hands plays. So both those guys I expect to see some more targets as well. Scotty Miller, I would probably give the edge since he does have a little bit of that chemistry with Tom Brady, and Scotty Miller, Tom Brady deep balls have worked pretty much the entire year, so maybe they, bust out a couple of those now. Maybe we see some Scotty Miller screens, maybe we see some Tyler Johnson screens, who knows, but those are all the guys who I expect to get a couple more targets thrown their way. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, probably more Chris Godwin, the tight ends, Gronkowski, Brate, Leonard Fournette, and then Scotty Miller and Tyler Johnson as well, and maybe we see Jadon Mickens get a pass or two thrown his way, fingers crossed. But overall, this is an unfortunate injury, but all the names I just mentioned, guys, they have the weapons, they have the targets to not make up for it, but definitely they have the depth there to spread out, those passes that would be going to Antonio Brown to other guys who can make some opportunities and make some plays on their own accord. So with that being said, guys, unfortunate news here, but I did want to go ahead and mention it. Hopefully, if the Buccaneers do make it to the Super Bowl, Antonio Brown will be able to play in that. And yeah, it sucks because he was playing some good football here throughout the end of the regular season and a little bit into the playoffs as well. But it's that next man up mentality. Let's see what all the guys that I mentioned can do to make the most of their opportunities now that they may be getting a couple of more targets thrown their way with Antonio Brown out. But with that being said, guys, hope you guys all enjoyed. Leave me your thoughts about this entire situation down in the comments section below. What do you guys think? Look out for Scotty Miller. And anyway, guys, I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.